So I think let's know something about our guest of honor today. So Dr. Pradeep Kumar Dammala is currently an assistant professor in Civil and Infrastructure Engineering Department at Indian Institute of Technology, Jodhpur, IIT. Dr. Dammala has obtained his PhD in Civil Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Guwahati. His doctoral work was focused on establishing soil-specific dynamic social soil properties, so soil sampled from active seismic regions of India. The work also comprised of utilization of established soil properties in seismic site response studies and seismic analysis of deep foundations located in highly active seismic regions. Dr. Dammala has visited the Survey Advanced Geotechnical Engineering Laboratory, University of Surrey, UK as a visiting research scholar through a collaborative UKIERI project. He had received highly competitive Commonwealth Split Site Fellowship from Commonwealth Scholarship Commission, UK, to perform 1 year of research at Sage Laboratory. During the visit, Dr. Dammala has gained experience in utilizing state-of-the-art laboratory element testing techniques for dynamic testing of soils. Dr. Dammala has published 10 peer-reviewed articles in SCI journals and geotechnical special publications of ASCE, along with 4 book chapters and 10 national and international conference articles. Dr. Dammala has visited many geotechnical laboratories abroad to explore the modern state of the art facilities at Schofield Center at University of Cambridge, Blade Laboratory at Bristol University, CC Laboratory at Tongji University, and many more. He has given technical talks on his research work in several national and international conferences.
Ajay,
Yes.
sir has joined, so we can start the session.
Yeah, hi guys. I was so sorry because I was trying to join the session, but somehow the link was not very well working. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for waiting so long.
No problem, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Participants, we are starting the session actually. A very warm good evening to everyone, and welcome to our brand new show, ALUM Connect. Generally, students in engineering are a little bit tensed about their career after graduation. They actually stumble on making their career decisions and make mistakes, which is really going to affect their probably their whole life. I remember of a quote by Socrates. Normally, people learn from their own experiences, but smart people learn everything from others' experiences. So, to provide such a golden opportunity to our Gayatri Vidya Parishad students, we, the team of Association of Civil Engineers, came up with an idea of an interview show with our previous alumni. So, in which we'll bring you our successful alumni and know about their journey of success. So, without any further ado, let's welcome our first guest for the show, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Dammala, sir. Sir is an alumnus of Gayatri Vidya Parishad College from 2009 to 2012. I welcome you, sir. And this is Sai Teja, and we are with a team of 4, Ajay, Nandan, and Anjali. We are from final year, sir, and it's happy for us to interview you, sir. Welcome you for the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. But I kept saying the same even during my interaction session as well. A day back, on Friday, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So what I was trying to tell you is, don't make things too much professional. Let it be as interactive as possible, and don't call me a successful man, because it is still in the initial phases. At
Yes.
least at least for the sake of saying so, at least I'm still in the initial phase of what I tried to reach. So don't expect that I'm already a successful man and kind of a thing. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. So starting off with our interview, my first question to you would be like, from which place do you hail, sir?
Well, just like most of you guys, I came from a rural area which is close to Kakinada. I mean, we are close to 5 kilometers away from Kakinada, so East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. So the place is called Timapuram, a village, as I said, which is 5 kilometers away from Kakinada, and it is very close to JNTU Kakinada as well.
Yes, sir. Sir, can we know how were your school days, sir? How did you enjoy it, sir?
Well, guys, it's just this usual. I used to be in a Telugu medium schooling before my fifth standard, and then I switched to an English medium school, wherein it was just started behind my my home in my village. And then, since it was an first English medium school in our entire village, so our parents started to push us into that, and we could not get used to that. And then slowly we somehow managed it with a mere rank of close to top 5 ranks in the school, but that's still okay. And I can't tell you the number of students in my class. It was only 6 students, and I was the number fifth ranker there. So don't call me a topper during my school days, but it was good enough. It was good enough for us, and it was only the first school of English medium in our entire village, so we were happy. And the good thing with this kind of a school is that your friends are limited, and you have good kind of interactions. Wherein, if you see other schools, wherein big schools like very big schools, I think most of you must have known about it. So wherein you will have a lot of friends, and you may not find a very good or you know a lot of similar into. But in here, since we are limited in number, so we got very close to each other, and many of our school friends are doing quite well, so I should say that. So this is what my school background is, and it is till 10th class. It was an English medium, and we were quite happy about it. That is where we got all the roots of current situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
This is Anjali. I have a question for you.
Please go ahead.
In your diploma, what made you to choose civil engineering? Is there any specific intention?
Well, to be frank with you, so let me be as frank as possible. So my brother was a civil engineer. He did his diploma from Andhra Polytechnic Kakinada. So I was not very, not knowing much about all this civil engineering, because just imagine, you just graduated from your 10th class with a 10th class certificate, and how would you able to know which branch would be good for you? Because even a intermediate graduated student will not be able to choose what kind of a subject would be better for his engineering. But having been with only 10th class certificate, I was also not in a similar situation. But it was my brother, because as soon as I done with my master 10th class, so my brother graduated from diploma, and then he got a job in L&T. It was a campus placement. And then we, being a middle class you know people, so we thought, okay, so civil engineering is good, so since my brother got it, I must also should get it. So that's how I got into it. But later on, once I joined it, I believe, and I was very sure that civil engineering was one of the good professions where you can put in your efforts and get in as much knowledge as possible. So initial push of me was my brother. Later on, it was completely my into, I believe, once I joined it. But it was, the initial push was only by my brother. Yes.
So hello, sir. I'm Ajay.
Yeah, please, Sajay.
Sir, when I got through your biodata, I have noticed that you've secured first rank in ESET examination, sir. Sir, actually, it's really great and it's really rare, actually. How did you prepare for it?
Well, guys, I believe that only 4 or 5 of us are in the online, and not any faculty. Is it so?
Yes, sir. Actually,
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, sir,
Okay, great. So there are no issues. I just want to be, as frank as possible, so that if there are any faculty, I wouldn't want them to be kind of a hut kind of a thing. So what happened was, so can you please repeat the question?
Sir, how did you secure first rank in ESET examination, sir?
Well, so frankly speaking, because I was doing my diploma in my in Andhra Polytechnic Kakinada, which is kind of a few kilometers away from my home. So during my third year, as soon as I am done with my second year of sorry, it was third year of diploma, because we did not have training during those days, during those curriculum. So I was given an opportunity of taking coaching by Veda Coaching Center. So it was completely free because I was the topper of the college. So they offered me that, and then it was good enough because you do not need to be having coaching to get into top 3 or top 5, but still it gave me an edge, so that all the shortcuts, how can we solve even the complex problems in quite small duration, that was understood by me during that time. But believe me, even without coaching, a few of my friends, if you could recollect, one of my friend, my batchmate of bachelors from Gayatri, he scored ESET rank 3 and a state rank without even coaching. Now he's a IAS officer in Kochi. So you do not have to be going to any coaching kind of centers, but even with your own preparation. So since you already know what at least the diploma candidates who are listening to me are who knew me well, so they would be knowing what exactly is required for someone to get into top 5 rank of ESET. So what is required is mostly mathematics and physics and chemistry during our time, because we diploma students are quite I should say quite dull in mathematics, because we are not exposed to that much, because intermediate students have got very good basics of mathematics, physics, chemistry, but we do not. So what happened was, that is why I prefer to go to coaching, and that gave me an edge over other people. And since we are from diploma, we got good technical skills on surveying, strength of materials, RCS, and steel structures, and all those things. So, well, I used to study close to 3 to 4 hours after the coaching every day. So, and then I used to keep revising all the topics as much as possible once a week, so that I wouldn't be losing in any heck of a particular subject. So that's how I was preparing for my particular ESET coaching. But ultimately, it was mostly the revision part of my preparation, as well as consistency in what I have been preparing. So I believe those two were the things that helped me to get what I achieved.
That really takes a lot of hard work, sir. We can understand that. Sir, coming to our college, what did you love most about our college, sir? GVPCOE.
Uh, Pardon me. What do you learn, or what do you love?
What did you love most about our college, sir?
Well, if that's the case, if that's the question, if I should be very frank, the discipline is what I like most in the college. So we used to remember, we were not even allowed to wear a torn jean or a t-shirt while we are coming to the college. Of course, I'm talking about other than academics. So academically, the staff were so enjoyable, especially they used to be faculty, like because they are still in action. Papa Rao sir, Manchukanti sir, Veerbhadrao sir, and there were few more faculty. I used to remember Dr. Anil Babu. He used to be a faculty for hydraulics and fluid mechanics. So those were good guys, and they taught us actually what would life be as soon as you graduate, because we get into graduation or BTech, by watching some kind of Happy Days movies and things like that. But once you get into that, you will understand, not every movie, not every life is going to be happy days.
Yes,
So
sir.
mostly people will realize as soon as they get into it. So the best thing I loved at Gayatri Vidya Parishad was the hostel life. I'm not talking about the food and the other things, but it's the it's friends. We used to be close. We always used to hang out, and of course, we had to come back before 7 p.m. And those were restrictions. But once we graduated from the college, we understood those were actually very good, which actually helped us to shape our careers, and we used to realize what exactly the freedom was, and not bunking classes, but it was good. I mean, those kind of discipline is actually being lacked in many colleges everywhere. So the
True,
first
sir.
is the faculty part, and the second is the resources. I must say about the resources, be it the college premises, be it the library times, other resources over there, and then faculty interaction. We used to have some faculty called Sridhar sir as well. He was
Yes,
good enough, kind enough to teach us what's required, and especially other faculty. So all of them were good, and then you would still be knowing that Gayatri is the one of the best colleges, at least in the state. If you ask me, and many
yes,
other
sir.
NIF rankings as well. Yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
we used to be in the ground most of the time. We used to be in the cricket ground. So that was kind of joy.
True, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. This is Nandan.
Yeah, please, Nandan.
Sir, could you share your experience and your participation in various co-curricular, extracurricular activities and the student chapter at the time?
Yes, Mr. Nandan. If I remember correctly, so I think I had already mentioned about this particular extracurricular activities other than your curriculum. So during our second year of bachelor's, because I was an ACIT lateral entry student. So second year we were just entering, and then as soon as we entered, we went to a conference, not a conference, a technical symposium by IIT Chennai. It is called CFest. So that was an extracurricular activity, and luckily we got first rank in that modeling part. We had to prepare a model, a bridge model. It was a crane model, and they keep loading it, and me along with two of my friends have got the first rank. So that helped us to you know that excited us, and we visited a few more colleges. Like we visited IIT Kharagpur to attend Megalith. It was a civil engineering symposium again, and then NIT Warangal. And so all these are actual extracurricular activities. And depending on this as well, we got. I think I had mentioned as my best cherished memory of Gayatri. Me along with my friend Chari, we were runner-ups in the regional round of Ultratech Stimulus Quiz. So these are kind of extracurricular activities. So which pushed us to go beyond our textbooks and conventional teaching. So other than this, we also conducted some kind of, if I could remember, it was Ekatra, I believe, at that time.
Yes,
So
sir.
we conducted extra. During that time, I was coordinator for technical treasure hunt. So we were happy because it was successful, and there was a very good competition during that time. And I believe it is still going on with very good rapport. So these were my in extracurricular activities during that time, and I think I'm still following that there as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, college is a time to share your experiences and joy and feelings and every moment with your friends. How did you spend your moments with your friends?
Well, moments with your friends, in the sense, of course, as I said, since I was not much an academician, I'm more of a fun-loving guy. So I used to spend most of my time in the college in the sense, because we were not allowed to go out beyond 7. So we used to go to movies together, and then we used to chat late nights in the campus. We can roam around the campus even after 7 p.m. But you know, as I said, less people, more luggage. So it's a common thing out there at the time. So we were quite good amount of friends, like 4 to 5 in a single room. And I think it was 2 people at the time, but all of four, used to sleep in the same room, with leaving the other room empty. So that was kind of a very good interaction, at least during the time. So I cannot name all those guys who were there, because it was a good number, but we were having very good rapport. At least 10 15 friends of my bachelor days are still in contact, and they were really doing good. Few of them are having settled as directors, and some of them are in US doing PhDs, and some of them got settled abroad for masters and then doing job there. We are still in contact, and I believe this is what is our interaction the result of our interaction as well as the hard work and everything. So we were having good time. We used to play cricket together, and then basketball together, and we used to watch movies. At that time it was only the initial days of CMR Mall. So now you could see many people over there, but it was only the initial days of that, the establishment of CMR. So we did not have significant time to spend there, but it was still good. Even if you had have enough time, we were not allowed beyond 7 p.m. So it wouldn't have made much difference to us.
That's really great, sir.
Sir, this is Teja again, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
please take that.
may I request you to, like on your camera, sir, if possible.
Well, Teja, I think uh,
Yes, sir.
that may not be possible because I'm in middle of my game here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
I'm sorry for that. You wouldn't, compare me with what you had seen few days back. So it's better. I think
Yes,
if
sir.
you insist, I would go, but it's still on your call.
No, sir. That's completely fine, sir.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
sir,
you.
I have a question for you, sir. And like, how would you spend your time here, sir, in college, sir? What are your hobbies and other interests?
Well, as I just said, I used to be as I used to spend as much less time as possible with my books, but it was mostly with my friends. And then uh, whatever the time that I used to spend with books, especially only in the library, because in the hostel we were only chatting and then discussing various things not related to books again. So it was only during our library time we used to spend together. And I must accept that I'm also a uh, one day one day you used to do that, right? Just before the exam day, you keep uh, pushing your limits, and you would
Yes, sir.
study the entire book in one night. So I was kind of such a guy for few subjects, not all. Just like your finite element analysis, if you still have that. So I was merely passing in that subject. So such kind of subjects I was not well, but other subjects I was good enough. And other than this, I used to play cricket almost all daily, and basketball. And then we used to play cricket only during that time, and we used to play in the down ground. There was a ground below beyond that stage.
Yes,
So
sir.
that was kind of a good time, and I believe you guys are still in intact for that.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, that's it, Teja.
Hello, sir. Anjali again.
Yes, please.
In the final year, probably many students will be under stress for taking career decisions. At one quality of his or her make them successful or make them strong at that moment. How did you overcome that stage? And what was your strongest quality?
Well, what was my strongest quality? Uh, well, I still do not know what exactly is my strongest quality, but as you said, the people in the final year, the students of final year will be under stress. I accept that, and what I suggest for that particular thing is that so they need to have a clear conscience of what must be done right after their bachelor's, even before entering their final year. Because why they are under stress in the final year is because they did not choose anything what they must do after their graduation. So if you had a clear sight of what must be done right after your bachelor's, you wouldn't be in stress. I'm sure of it. So why would you be in stress? Assume that you had made up your mind to go for further studies, be it masters or MTech or any other studies. So that must have been planned in your third year itself. So once you plan it in third year, so the summers of third year would not be wasted. You must either go for some kind of gate coaching or some GRE TOEFL coaching, and you would be in a better position than people who would not be people who did not plan for the careers. So what I finally would like to say is people who plan their careers in their third years itself, so they would actually be missing their their friends and everything in the final year. They wouldn't be in stress, they will be in sadness. Why? Because they're going to miss their enjoyment, they're going to miss their college life and everything. So it was not only on the day of farewell, but it is also the entire year. And what they do, I mean, people who plan their careers after their graduation, what they do is they try to see other ways out. So because they already had a clear conscience in their mind what must be done. So I also suggest people who are in third year right now, they must choose their path in a proper way. So be it whatever your interests are, be it you want to be a consultant, you want to be you want to go for further studies, or for any kind of a thing, because even people who have done bachelors or who did not finish their bachelors from Gayatri or any other college are still doing fine. So I wouldn't say you all to go for further studies. It all depends. So at least you make up your mind, because as soon as you are done with your intermediate 2 years, you wouldn't be in a good position to realize what your strengths are. But having spent 3 years of bachelor's, not the final year, you would have got some kind of an idea on what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. So if you're in that position to understand, realize what your strengths and what you're not, so you should be able to plan your career such a way that your strengths will be your biggest investment, and that will yield you what you really require in the future. So I would all finally I would suggest you, so people who are in stress right now, who did not plan, so don't worry, you will also have enough time, so not at all to worry, but at least now open your eyes and start looking for what the available options are depending on your interest, and then go accordingly. So that's what all I can say for people who are in stress, and people who are already planned, you're already good enough. That's
Yes,
it
sir,
from
that
my
was really good suggestion. What is your biggest dream in your life?
Well, biggest dream in my life was actually to be an IIT professor, I should say that. But since I had already got it now, the biggest dream, the further extension of my dream was to make myself, my name, something audible, you know, in the sense of preparing something for the society, because I am an geotechnical engineering expert. So not an expert, kind of a, initial engineer, you could say that. So I want to do some really challenging projects such as earthquake resistant foundations. I normally focus on deep foundations such as piles and Kaizen foundations. So I want to design such kind of foundations for offshore wind turbines and then wind energy. I want to you know push myself as much as possible, and excel in the career that I chosen. So uh, mostly I would like to publish as many articles as possible, and finally would bring some kind of a name, not just to myself but also to my family and my well wishers and my previous alumni as well. That's it from my side, Miss. Hello, am I
Anjali,
Ajay,
please
audible?
unmute.
please unmute.
Sorry, sorry
Yeah,
for that. Sir, this is a question which most of us have in our mind, sir. Sir, an average student will be searching for jobs after graduation, and he will take a certain time, considerable amount of time searching for them. So, parallelly, what can students do to excel them and use that time efficiently?
well, if the question that you had asked me had three ways of answering. Why would I say that? Because so people who want to go to job in after their graduation has got three ideologies. One is either to make money, or because they getting a job is easy, but having staying there, because having staying in a field for a civil engineer is not so easy. I had seen it with my friends. So that was one of the reasons that I did not choose going to this field, going to a consultancy or a design job. So the three basic aims of someone who wants to get into job is either to make money, or to make his name visible, or to start his own consultancy. So all these things are interdependent, if you ask me. Why? Because if you make yourself strong enough, so these three things will surely follow. So as I said in my presentation as well, so if someone really wants to go into a job, why would he have to wait till end of fourth year? So why would he not start his own working nature even during his third and fourth year? Because he is already equipped with what needs for the industry even during his bachelor's itself. He does not need to wait till he finishes fourth year. He just needs to start his own kind of firm or own kind of consultancy. Why would he have to wait? Because does it really need a certificate? No, not really. So if some, let us say your relative wants you to design some kind of a building, be it a G+1 or G+2, even a small building, So you consider yourself a civil engineer and you start designing something by taking the help of already working people or your own textbooks or somewhere else. So you do not have to wait till you graduate just because of a piece of paper, just like your degree. So you need to start working from your third or fourth year. That is why I keep telling people to get as much experience as possible, especially people who are looking for jobs. Get as much experience as possible, because even a civil engineer with a mild experience, he would easily get a reasonable amount of salary and good name as well. So my friends who are design engineers, they get very good amount of salary and very good fame, and they have been working all over the world. So ultimately, what I would like to suggest is people who are interested in going for jobs, they need to start internships in very good companies or any companies wherein they use their theoretical knowledge and to enhance their practical working nature. So if they are able to enough, if they are able to learn this particular aspect of working even during their studies, so that is the biggest thing that they will be doing. They are already in working condition. They don't need to rely on someone else to get a job. So even during your bachelor's itself, you need to start working, because you're a practical civil engineer. You do not have to depend on something else. You can generate your revenue just by yourself itself. You do not have to wait for some kind of a graduate degree or something. So especially in the final year also, you better work on some really interesting projects, such as complete design of a structure, not just limited to shear wall or a column or some kind of a beam. Just try designing the entire structure. So that will give you an idea wherein you can put all your knowledge, and then you can excel further as well, so that your companies will also hire you based on that. Not just single element design, but the complete comprehensive design of a building will help you to gain knowledge on all the aspects of civil engineering. So I would suggest this particular way: try internships, or try taking some kind of internship in local consultancy or somewhere, even during your bachelor's itself. So that will give you an idea. So as soon as you graduate, you will have some kind of an experience with you, wherein you can start your own firm, be it your own firm or you're going to apply for any job. You will already be having some kind of an experience with you. That's what all I can talk about getting into a job and having some kind of an experience.
Definitely, sir. We will do that for sure, and our juniors will also follow that. Sir, coming to regrets in life, sir, each of us have this regret. Maybe thinking that I should not have done that, or I should not have taken that decision. Do you have any regret like that in life, sir?
Well, if you, as I said, I was trying to be as frank as possible. So I cannot say it is a regret, but I feel sometimes why did not I choose civils in the sense, not IAS but IPS. Why did not I choose it? Because my parents keep telling me, having studied so much, your name was not even known to my neighbor. So had you been a kind of an IPS or an IAS, entire village or entire district would have known you and known us. So especially when I listen some kind of thoughts like that, I feel, okay, why didn't I choose it? Maybe this is my destiny. But I still love what I'm doing. So maybe that's why I got into this profession. But if had it not been for PhD, I would surely have gone for kind of a profession like civils or some kind of other profession. But I cannot say it a regret. But somewhere deep down, just because of some parents' talks, I feel why didn't I choose that? That's it. Nothing else. No regrets as of now.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. This is Nandan again.
Yes, please.
Sir, GATE is one of the most exam attempted by the fourth years of the engineering candidates. Sir, share your experience. How did you prepare for the GATE exam? And give me some suggestions for the GATE aspirants present now.
Well, so in that case, well, I'm not a right person, because I got only 588th rank in GATE, not the top 10 or top 20th rank. You should be talking to a guy who got top at least 100th rank. But with my exposure of what I understood, and since my own supervisor, Professor Murali, he's a GATE chairman for last 2 to 3 years. So I could see what we must put on to get into top ranks of gate. So what I suggest you, but as I said, I keep telling people to go for coaching as much as possible. Why? Because they keep telling they'll keep revising all your entire 4 years of subjects in within 2 or 3 months. That is good. Why? Because they keep telling you the shortcuts. Shortcuts. I mean, in the sense, uh, you know, uh, 2 plus 3 will be 5. However, you can do even simpler way to find out the value of 5. So that's how they do that. So that will be really helpful. In addition to that, as I said, even without preparation as well, my friends got less than 100, top 100 rank. So with preparation, I got close to 580. So I want to keep it in a nutshell. So if you're going for gate coaching, so whatever the material that they give you, I mean, I'm talking about some kind of good coaching centers. So so take that material and then keep preparing. So during my time, what I used to do was, so every day I used to prepare 3 subjects. I mean, 3 hours were dedicated to 3 subjects. So one subject 1 hour, one subject 1 hour, in the same way. So 6 days, entire 6 days, I used to cover all the subjects. So that means 6 3 is 18 subjects. So because we used to have if there are no 18 subjects, we I used to repeat the same subjects again and again. So at the end of the 6th day, I mean, or the 7th day, I used to take an exam. I mean, a mock kind of an exam, be it online or offline. At that time it was only offline exam, wherein all the mock books were given to us. So I used to those 6 subjects I used to give a mock exam. So how did I make myself clear about it? So this used to my routine for 3 to 4 months before gate. And well, I should not say that, but I did not get what I prepared for. I should have at least got within 100 or 200, but I don't know. Probably I did not you know do as I practiced. So but what I suggest is you keep preparing all the subjects every day. I mean, 3 subjects at least a day, so that your all subjects will be in your mind in entire week. You will not be losing the actual concepts of other subjects while you're preparing these subjects. So today, let us say you're taking 3 subjects. Tomorrow, take 3 more subjects, not these subjects. And the next day, you can take these 3 subjects again. So by the end of the week, you need to review all these subjects what you've gone through. I mean, all these concepts what you've gone through a simple mock test or something like that. So that will be really helpful. That has been followed by many people, and I also follow the same. So that's it from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Well, sir, I have a small question for you. Uh,
Yes, please.
Sir, student-teacher relationship is so important in drafting one's career and life, sir. So, whom was your interaction mostly in the college, sir? Who helped you out even more?
Well, who helped me particularly? I mean, you know, since now I'm in a a better position. Now, if whatever I tell is going to be kind of a praising thing, kind of a thing. But at that time, I was I was the most, or at least I was the relatively hated guy during our time. Why? Because you know, even my name was there in the notice board as well once, because I had given my. I remember I had given my answer sheet to one of my friend during a midsem examination, and I was thrown out of the school, thrown out of the classroom, and my name was kept in the notice board. But that changed me. Actually, the way I thought after that actually changed me. By because in fact I was doing a mistake by ruining my friend's career as well. So uh, Manchuganti sir, I think at that time was the HOD, and he scolded me like anything. Even he asked me to bring my parents as well, which I didn't do later on. But he still was good enough, kind enough to me. And Manchuganti sir, and then Papa Rao sir was a very good motivator at that time. When I was going to different festivals, I mean, kind of technical festivals, he supported me during that time. And then during my bachelor's project as well, Papa Rao sir guided really well. Um and then during that time, Papa Rao sir was doing some kind of consultancy as well, I believe. So we used to think how much Papa Rao sir was, or other faculty who does this kind of consultancy would get, and we were so kind of happy that our teachers were being recognized in the entire city. So So these kind of models, even Professor P.S. Rao sir. P.S. Rao sir was the ideal of many of our friends. Even few of my friends did their bachelor's project with Professor P.S. Rao sir. And when we especially hear his background, he was the one who introduced PSC slippers, railway slippers in the country, as well as he initiated or established a structural engineering laboratory at IIT Chennai, and he was the guru of Professor C.V.R. Murthy, and all these things. When you keep listening, you get so much high. And where is that? What is that stopping you when you have these many pillars behind you? There wouldn't be something that would be stopping you when there are people like them, when they're supporting you, when they're pushing you beyond your limits. So these were the people. I mean, Manchikanti sir, Veerbhadrav sir, Paparao sir, and there used to be one more faculty called KK sir, Kishore Kumar sir. So I think he is now in ISRO or somewhere, but he looked aggressive, but he was kind enough. So these were all good faculty. And Professor P.S. Rao sir still, messaged me a few months back regarding my selection. So he was quite happy, and I'm also quite happy receiving his great, comments on my selection. So these are all the people that helped me to realize my potential as well as to grow further in my life.
Yes, sir. That's great, sir. You've actually emphasized that we should learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are often committed, but you learn from your mistake, and it will be an experience for others who are watching, that they'll not commit such kind of mistakes and move forward, sir. Sir, another question, sir. Students, I mean, the present generation, like, how can they develop their skills and knowledge to be competent in this world, sir?
Well, as you know, currently, be it civil engineer, mechanical engineer, any engineering domain requires to be as specialist as possible, especially in the knowledge of technical innovations. Technology taking over, since technology is taking over all the process, and finally it is going to be automation almost. So what you need to know is the artificial intelligence techniques, the machine learning techniques, because in civil engineering as well we have all these techniques being inbuilt as well as being induced. Assume that you're doing some kind of a program wherein you're making a soil sample, and then you are actually testing all the soil sample yourself. But assume that you have done it automation, so that the sample will be tested automatically, the sample will be prepared automatically, tested, and you'll have the result finally in your hand. So these kind of automation is required, and people who goes for this kind of automation techniques, so they will be the one, they will be the hotcakes in the next future scenario. So I suggest people, civil engineering people, especially civil, mechanical, electrical people, who are not who feel that coding is not their food, or coding is not their cup of tea. So they should be actually focusing on coding part, which is quite easy, because since I'm a diploma candidate, I do not know much maths, but there is a coding part, the basic coding part. So if you learn that particular aspect, I'm sure there wouldn't be any company which is uh, avoiding you. Almost all the companies, be it any software or a hardware or any core company, every company requires you to be as specific as possible and as good as possible in the coding languages, because coding is like an automation. So I suggest people to learn the coding aspects, which is quite easy. Just take this C programming language, and you'll easily understand that. So please take this particular aspect quite serious, and learn the aspects of programming as much as possible. So that will only be helping out, because soon it is going to be automation rather than manual things in the near future. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. What is your advice to job seekers in this post-pandemic situation?
Well, it's been already revealed. Post-pandemic situation is not going to be always uh, this hectic, but I'm sure we will be coming up really good. So as I said, the current final years are the final years who already graduated. So I would suggest them not to be idle at home. I think they are attending classes, the final year students, but the classes are not sufficient, I'm sure, because you also know about it. The classes are not sufficient unless you got some kind of a practical experience. So get as much hands-on experience as possible, be it on testing or supervising, or any other element of civil engineering, or learning some kind of a software, I suggest you to learn Stat Pro or SAP. SAP 2000 is a very good software wherein you do all the analysis, be it static, pseudostatic, pseudodynamic, and dynamic, nonlinear. All this analysis can be done. And even if you have further interest, I suggest you to learn softwares like LS Dyna, FLAC, continuum softwares. I'm talking about continuum softwares. So LS Dyna, FLAC, or Flaxis. These kind of softwares will give you some kind of edge over the other people who are just idle at their home as soon as the class is over. So try learning these softwares in your free time if you're looking for jobs after your graduation. So people who have got at least a pinch of additional thinking or additional skill over the other people will surely be the hot cake of the present scenario. So try as much coding or programming languages as much as you can, as well as try learning the softwares of civil engineering. Those will really help. So simple AutoCAD will not help you, I'm sure. So AutoCAD is a simple language. Even a 10th class student easily can understand what AutoCAD is. He will even an intermediate or 10th class student is easily draft 2D drafting or 3D drafting. That is not so difficult. People who know AutoCAD will easily tell that. So AutoCAD is a mere thing. So what I suggest is learn some complex softwares. Revit is a good thing, where you can design the elevation parts, and then Stat Pro, and then SAP, LS Dyna, FLAC, OpenSeas, ANSYS. These are all some kind of softwares wherein the companies are looking for R&D people who are good at those R&D activities. They'll be surely backed into. So if you are free at your home, as soon as the class is over, try to learn these kind of softwares. And if you're good enough, you can go for, if you're interested enough, you can go for further studies as well. Well, that's it.
I have another question for you.
Yes, please.
Is it absolutely necessary for students to have all resources to become successful in their life?
Well, there are two kinds of people. One are those who got blessed, or you can say privileged, wherein they get all the resources, and people who are underprivileged, who do not get significant resources. But are there not people who are still underprivileged but are not successful, sorry. So there are a lot of people who are still unprivileged but still got very good stardom, and still are in the top places. So I cannot say that people who have less resources are prone to less success. No. Why? Because those people who got less or who has less resources have got more challenges. So if they are strong enough, they'll come out of these challenges with much more strength, much more obsession of success. Just like an example of Maharshi movie. So if you would watch that, you would understand people who are underprivileged with very limited resources. They have more excitement about success, and they want to make people understand what they have gone through and what they ultimately are. So as he says, the past is your best friend. The past defines what your success is currently. So that's what I keep telling. So if you are gifted with resources, you're good to go. You have all the resources, but not many people utilize it. But people with less limited resources, so they have got the best chances, and they would do the best if they are really strong enough and determined enough. So I would not say that underprivileged are always unsuccessful. No, in fact, underprivileged are have the best chances to success. Okay, that's what all I say.
Sir, talking about your career path, sir, in spite of many career options in civil engineering, you chose researching and teaching. Can you please tell us the reason behind it?
Well, you have been listening my session. You had listened my session 2 days back, close to one and a half hour. I think close to 70-80 minutes, and you are now watching my video as well. My online interview as well. So from past half an hour, you could easily understand, what my passion is. You could easily see I wanted to teach students. May not be civil engineering. Even if it is something else, I would like to talk to students. I would like to talk to generations I would like to tell them what the other options are available, what the available options are, and I would like to really guide them, because what is lacking in the current scenario, of course they have smartphones, of course they have technology, but using the technology to the requirement is what is the driving factor. So I would like to talk to people, talk to younger generations as possible. And when I say younger generations, I'm still young, so don't consider me old enough. So I want to tell people, I want to guide people as much as I can, because ultimately that's what actually matters. There are many people who have been very good enough but still were not guided in a proper way. So if you have enough time, I suggest you people to read some books by very good authors like Robert Kiyosaki, if you had gone through, or Napoleon Hill. Those are, these authors are excellent. I suggest you to read these books once, and they will surely help you out. What must be done? I'll share those at the end of at the end of the interview. So so that's it from my side. So it's all my
That would be really helpful.
my kind of a passion towards teaching and talking to students, because where would you get 30, 40, 60, 100 students listening to you, 60, 100 people listening to you when you're talking something. So you wouldn't be getting this opportunity, be it in software or somewhere, but you would only be getting this opportunity when you are a teacher. So that's how I choose it.
That's really inspiring, sir.
Well, sir, I have a question for you, sir. Life poses many challenges to us, no, sir. So we just wanted to know what is the biggest challenge you faced till time, sir.
Oh, still time. Well, I'm still facing it. uh, to be as best as possible in all aspects of my life. I'm still trying, but I'm still being only good, not the best. So as such, because I'm gifted with all the resources, so there was no a challenge. There was no challenge which can be named. So it was mostly uh, myself whom I want to improve as much as possible. That is the only challenge I have right now, because I'm kind of a lazy guy, if I should say frankly. So I'm trying to push my limits as much as possible. So that is the biggest challenge I got. So procrastination, you know it, right? So I keep
Yes,
doing that often. So I just don't want to do that, and that's the biggest challenge I have currently.
yes, sir. Sir, we have an interesting question from the most of the participants, sir. Sir, most of the students doesn't get to know the thin line of difference between these words: hobbies,
Mhm.
interests, passion, and goals. Sir, can you please tell your perspective on them, sir? What is the difference between them?
Hobbies, interest, uh, goals, and
Passion and passion, sir.
well. So if you ask me this particular question, hobbies, interest, passion, and goal, so I would sum it as one simple thing: your life. Because someone who chooses his hobbies to be his passion, so can you imagine? So Jeff Bezos, the Amazon, the guy, the one who invented Amazon or established Amazon, Bezos, he started liking coding just like other people. So if you could see, during 1996, he was nothing, and then his hobby, which was simply coding, and it became his passion, and finally you can see where he is right now. So similarly, I do not see any difference between all these, because all these are actually the same when you think in terms of life. So all these would finally constitute you to the final aspect of life. And if someone makes his hobbies to be his goal, so what else is required? Because you're actually going to enjoy your life. So
Yes,
hobbies, interest, so these two are the same to me, because you're actually making see myself, what I do. I used to play cricket at the time, but now I'm reading as many novels and the books I like. So that is my hobby. But what ultimately happened, that is going to be my further life goal as well, because when I have to teach students, I need to study. So my hobby is going to be my my life goal ultimately. So what I would say is, these all four terms: hobbies, interest, passion, or goal, should be one. Why? Because it ultimately constitutes your life goal. So just try to make your hobbies to be your goals. So ultimately, it will yield you to the satisfaction of what you really want to do.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have the last question for you. Sir, can you describe Gayatri Vidya Parishad College and your journey with it in one word, sir?
Uh, as I said, whenever I talk about or I think about Gayatri or GVP, I only one thing comes to my mind. No, that's the discipline. No,
Yes.
the self defined discipline. So be it any students or any faculty, that was always there. And discipline is the thing that always comes to my mind when I talk about Gayatri. Even I also suggest my younger generations to go for such colleges wherein discipline is the biggest strategy, because you can get degrees from elite colleges but not character and devotement and this kind of determination you wouldn't be getting it, and especially when you have good faculty and good resources within a reach. So such kind of attitude would obviously be onto your hands. So that's the best thing I would take it away from Gayatri.
That's really great, sir. I mean, like, you're truly an inspiration for generations and the coming generations also. And we wish you I mean, a successful career ahead, sir, from the team of Association of Civil Engineers. And thank you so much, sir, for attending our interview and taking part in it. Your answers were of such more importance for these current students, and we are sure that they'll uh, implement these your advices and suggestions and succeed in their life. Thank you so much,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, I hope it helps at least a bit of this. But well, as I said, my contact is always there for you. So if you want to have some personal queries regarding your job or any other thing, I'm open to talk as well. So you can reach me on my personal contact or my official email. So thank you very much for for this particular opportunity wherein you guys have given me an opportunity to talk to you our alma mater, and especially Papa Rao sir and other Manchukanti sir, other people have helped me to come this forward and help me to share my thoughts and experiences with you all. I'm so happy for that. So finally concluding, so I would like you guys to when you have some free time, I would like you guys to read some books which are quite easy, especially the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. So that was the
Yes.
book I always love to read, always and always, I mean again and again. I used to read books by Chetan Bhagat and Robinder Singh Sharma, and other people during my bachelor's time. But those are some kind of fictitious novels. But now I started reading these kind of books by some financial books, wherein you get to know about the real financial or entrepreneurship, all those things. So read this. I suggest you to read this particular book. So when I say read this book, you just read this book and you would always thank me for that. So this book is called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So don't read it in an online medium. Just buy this book, which costs close to 200 to 300, I guess. So this will be really worth, I should say. Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and then Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and then Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So these two books, once you read them, you'll read more and more books, because reading is a habit where you get as much knowledge as you can by any other mode. So my personal suggestion: read these books, and you would always thank me for that. I'm sure about it. So
Yes.
Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So please take this as personal suggestion. Please go ahead. So
Yes.
that's it from my side.
Once again, thank you
Definitely,
so
sir.
much.
We will take your suggestion, and we will definitely read those books, sir. Sir, on my behalf, I would like to say that we conducting our first interview session with such a great personality like you. I
Take this
think
as personal
we
suggestion.
have achieved our motto to convey the message to students, sir. We have covered almost many questions, and you have answered the questions even more widespread, that each aspect of college life and the questions in students' mind got cleared with this session. We are
I
really
hope so. I
thankful
hope
for
so. Yeah. Come on. This is kind of giving back to what I had, what I was given. So nothing else. So I'm happy. I'm happy about my thing, as well as especially people, because at that time we did not have this association of civil engineers. But I was happy that you guys have formed one, and you're making things progressive. So please continue this, and you can consider me as one of your members, one of the team members, for any further activities of this particular wing. Okay, I'm always there for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
So
that, sir.
yeah,
Definitely, sir.
please go ahead. Yeah. So shall we break in?
So, participants, that's the end of the interview, and we'll be again back with another success person. Stay tuned, people. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much. Manoj, could you just stop the live stream? Yeah, perfect. Okay.